Okay, quick question. What if I told you that 90% of marketers and communicators are ready to make changes in their everyday work for people on the planet? That's 9 out of 10 marketers. And not someday and not when the boss gives that person a green light. We're talking about now, real live data marketers who actually want to make change. And this is what we're finding in the Forces for Good 2026 survey report. So this data is real, and it very much shifts our perspective this year in comparison to last year's report. It tells us that something is shifting in the marketing and advertising industry. This topic is going more mainstream. So today I'm going to walk you through the Forces for Good 2026 report. And I'm going to highlight the biggest takeaways and what these takeaways mean for you as a marketer and communicator now in your job. So let's dig into it. So before we understand the significance of 2026, we have to go back to 2025. What was our baseline? And here's what we found. 87% of marketers and communicators last year cared deeply about the planetary crisis. 75% of them were thinking about climate change at least once a week in their everyday life. And 75% of them said that if they were given the tools and the information and everything to make it happen, they were willing to make changes in their everyday marketing work that would be better for people on the planet. So last year, it was super clear that we really had a value action gap. The values were there, what people wanted to do and make action for people on the planet. That intention was there, but the gap to actually making it happen was obvious. People cared deeply, they were intentional, but they lacked the guidance and the tools. Basically, the pathway ahead wasn't clear for them. In 2026, the most striking figure is this. 9 out of 10 marketers are willing to make changes in their daily workflow that benefits people and the planet, environmental and social impact. And we're not talking about vague intentions here. This is the hard work. People are ready to show up for the hard work, making narrative changes, restructuring their marketing department so they're less carbon intensive, more environmentally friendly. Embedding sustainability into part of their KPIs and part of their KPIs in their marketing campaigns. Aligning their brand storytelling with planetary frameworks and planetary and social values. Making sure that the campaign, the copy, and the creative they create is actually within those planetary boundaries. Oh my gosh, they might even be starting to think that marketing could be a vessel for something more than infinite growth and consumption, but actually a catalyst for positive change and good growth on a planet with finite resources, and discovering what is the campaigns and the culture and the creative that we have to create to envision that future. Now, marketing's historical mandate has always been to drive consumption. Consumption meant more reach, more sales, more frequency. The new mandate to use our narrative creative power to create regeneration, resilience, and regenerative ways of doing business. Now, that's a professional identity check, not just a value shift. Now, as I quoted in the report, marketing has spent decades perfecting the art of driving consumption. Now we're seeing a historical shift as the industry's greatest minds realize that those same levers of influence are our best hope for driving climate action, unquote. Now, honestly, this is the most exciting plot twist in the history of marketing and how our industry has been evolving and how it has been for the last 100 years. Our industry has helped build consumer culture, and we can argue that the way that we have supported business as usual in building that consumer culture hasn't done right by people on the planet. It hasn't done a lot of good. With that same narrative power, we have the power to reshape how our industry wants to move forward. And to me, that's very exciting and one of the key highlights that comes out of this year's report. So what is actually different in 2026? What has shifted the narrative so drastically in this year's Forces for Good report and survey? Part of it is sustainability is no longer abstract. Climate disruption is seeable. We see it in forest fires and rising floods. We see it in the plastic pollution in our oceans on holiday. Climate change or warming planet doesn't feel like a far off future problem anymore. It feels like something that's very present within our personal lives when we actually leave the office. That after time, it feels like it's all around us. There's more conversation about holding companies liable for what they actually communicate around green claims. But it's also a bottom-up approach in the fact that employees are demanding more from their employers. They want to see that their companies are doing good, that they're providing purpose, that they have a purpose in their job and that the company exists for some greater good. They want to be involved in projects. They want to be reducing the carbon footprint of their company. There's more pressure from all these different agents, external and internal, driving this change. And the tone in marketing itself has also shifted. As a sustainability-focused marketing leader and ally of content for good, Anjali said, quote, "We're getting away from greenwashing and moving towards real stories. We're finding out what sustainability actually means for everyday people in their city, in their work." Sustainable marketing in 2026 is rooted in purpose. We're moving away from those vague, eco-friendly campaigns, only thinking as marketing as a driver of sustainable messaging. Marketing and comms can be so much more as an industry, as a formidable force for good movement. All in all, we know that the bar is rising on a global scale on wanting more social and environmentally justice. And as a marketer and a communicator, myself, but also my colleagues and the people who were in the backing of this survey report are the backbone of the ones who are willing to stand up and drive this movement forward. That's another piece of the survey that excites me and lights me up. The purpose of the report wasn't just to drive awareness and see where marketers currently sit within the climate movement. It was also to unwrap the barriers that are hindering them from action. And one major barrier still remains from last year's report is leadership. Our CMOs, our marketing leaders, continue to be a major bottleneck. Now, despite the strong willingness for change, that friction with our leadership still remains. In 2026, 30% of marketers identified communication breakdown from their marketing lead or their CMO as their primary barrier to action. This, in a sense, also echoed our 2025 findings. Now, marketers, we want to act, but without the visible leadership commitment, we fall short of actually putting in things into practice. Now, this insight shifts responsibility upward towards management. But this also tells us that marketers and creatives have the opportunity to learn how to manage up to influence and align their values and their intentions with their CMO's strategic objectives. By binding these two together, we're going to see real transformative change in the marketing as a force for good movement. So, if 90% of marketers are ready to take action, what do we do about it? To move from ambition to action, we need structure and frameworks that helps marketers and communicators catalyze their intentions into climate action. In 2026, our survey findings are showing that marketers are absolutely willing to make changes. The question remains, is leadership willing to empower them and mobilize them to start acting on that change? Are we putting in the structures into our departments to actually let those marketers and communicators make the change that they want to see? If marketing helped build present day consumer culture, we can absolutely be the ones to dismantle it and make it into a force for good, one that benefits all people, planet, and nature. So here is where we are at in 2026. 9 out of 10 marketers want to do more good in their marketing work that contributes to building a better world that is aligned with people and planet principles. One thing that is missing is structure and leadership support. If you're a CMO or marketing leader, an agency founder, that's the data. What is the barrier? Currently, it's you. Your marketing team is ready to make action. The biggest barrier is you. And if you're a marketer in the trenches, don't wait for the executives and your CMO to take action. Work on bottom-up mobilization. Start making a team of clients, supporters, and champions within your marketing departments. Mobilize them, learn together, and catalyze your work and your enthusiasm into climate action. Every month, I publish content on sustainable marketing and the Marketing as a Force for Good movement on all my channels from YouTube to LinkedIn and also on our website and Substack community. We talk all about how to catalyze your talents into climate action and use your talents and your skills and your creativity as a force for good. If this sounds like your community and your people to be with, come on over. Drop a comment below. If there's one thing that you could start doing today for people on the planet, what would that one thing be? I would love to hear from you. And if you want to dive deeper into the Forces for Good survey report from 2026, I'll also leave that down in the comments. So make sure to visit our website with that link and look at the full survey results. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.